welcome to Knit 1.
Heart 2.
Heart 2.
Episode 38. Yay.
Yay. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37 on Ravelry.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie on Ravelry, Penny Winnie 2 on Spark People. Sorry, my hair's wet. I just got out of the shower.
So did I. Literally, I didn't even brush it. That's what gives me these lovely curls. No. Sorry. So I just want to say a couple of things. I want to say thank you to, sorry, I'm looking over here. Thank you to Judith, Debbie, Elizabeth, and Joanne for your donations to the podcast.
Wow.
We really appreciate it. And if anyone else wants to donate, the button's right over there.
I like how I got it. Wait, I don't like it.
Did it just go blurry?
No.
Oh, my eyes did.
You.
I also want to just remember we haven't mentioned this on the podcast, which we really should. We're having a knit along until the end of December, where it's anything for your hands. Mittens, gloves, fingerless, you name it, anything. And anytime you post a finished picture or a picture,
you become eligible
for a drawing of prize to be named later, because I have no idea what we're giving away.
We haven't decided what we're giving away yet, but it'll be something.
Yeah, it'll be something good.
We got some stuff we can give away.
So, jump right in?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to jump right in and onto the dance card, and I'll go first. I think you went first last week.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. I have got, well, I technically have two things on the needles, but Max's sweater got no love and probably won't until Christmas knitting is done. I'm going to be honest with you. And I've yet to buy the other yarn, but it will be done, because not only will I have you guys nagging me, I have a 11-year-old nagging me.
Oh, yeah. He'll want that.
Yes, he does. So, this doesn't look much different than last week.
No, it doesn't.
The Yarnissima Spice Man pattern, and I still didn't bring a sock blocker, but this is the first sock.
Very nice.
It's got a garter gusset with a nice rounded heel on it and a toe. I have not worked on this, and you'll see why in the Rate Your Dates, but starting the gusset. This is Blue Moon Fiber Art Socks That Rock in the medium weight. It's a mill end color. It's maroon and gray. Maroon and gray. Is that what mill end is? Is one of a kind?
Well, I don't know. It probably has a colorway, but they don't tell you the colorway.
Yeah, they don't tell you the colorway, but I tell you. A side note, Melissa from His and Hers plurked yesterday. If you could wish for anything that money was no object from Santa, what would you wish for? And I wished for some things that were non-yarn related, but my fourth wish was a membership to their sock club.
She loves the socks.
I do. So here's a close-up of the colorway. That's pretty dead on, too. It's a maroonish and gray, and the pooling's doing something weird that the first one didn't do.
It's got a little purple in it, too, I think.
Yeah, a little bit. You're better with colors than I am. I call them what I see them.
It's a little purple in there.
And I love the feel. I can't wait for this to be done. So, I'll probably be working on this tonight at work.
Cool.
That's all I have actively on the needles. Yeah, because Max's sweater has seen no love, and I think that's all I have, those two.
Wow, I have a ton of stuff on the needles, some of which I worked on this week, some of which got no love. The first thing I will tell you about is the Wrought Iron Cardigan by Stephanie Talent. It's what I'm knitting on right now, and I'm just going to get quickly through this chart so that I can talk about it. But it's knit on number 6, US 6 4mm needles. And it's in Dream and Color Classy in the Happy Forest colorway, which is my favorite colorway. And I have, I showed you last week, I had just started, was working on the back. I have since then finished both of the fronts, and I've joined them, and now I'm almost done with the waist shaping. So here it is so far. This is the front. This is right side up. It's hard to tell what it's going to look like because it's all bunchy, but so this is the front. You can kind of see it. I wove in some ends, and this is the back. The back is really nice. You can see the design work. Beautiful. Oh, it's going to be gorgeous. Beautiful. I'm enjoying it so much. Had a little mishap with it. I was missing a chart because this, as I said, this is a raw pattern that hasn't been tech edited, and I was missing the chart for the fronts, the beginning of the fronts, right after you pick up from the shoulder. And I could tell based on the looking at the other patterns what I was supposed to do. So I guessed at the chart, but what I didn't know and I couldn't figure out was where I was supposed to start the pattern. So I, instead of just waiting like the 10 minutes that it took Stephanie to email me the thing, I went ahead and started in the front, got all the way down, looked at her chart and realized that I was off by like 6 rows. So I ripped back and I found that picking up in the pattern, like knitting where the pattern was going to be knit and purling where the pattern was going to be purled, looked a lot nicer. So it was kind of nice. I got the opportunity to make that little change because it was kind of bothering me. The pattern said pick up and knit, and I was like, I don't really like that. So I'm glad I got to change that. And then I knit all the way down, and you have to do the front shaping, because it's a shawl V-neck cardigan. So I'm doing my increases to make this V-neck, and I'm happy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I got down to where I was supposed to do the shaping for the armhole, like this row, and then I realized I had been supposed to be doing the armhole shaping a lot earlier, like at the same time. I was like, ah! So that's my fault for not reading ahead in the pattern. So I had to rip back and then do the armhole shaping the right way. And my tip to anyone who's doing a pattern that has it, if you can, write it on the chart. Like you can see I made little marks in my margin there that show where I was supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And now that I'm doing the waist shaping, I have it written out on the chart, so what row I'm supposed to do it on, so I don't forget, because I'm one of those people that really gets involved in the work and I'm enjoying it so much. I'll knit for like 20 rows and then be like, oh, I never did that shaping. I'm enjoying this a lot. It keeps me interested because you've got these nice big hunks of pattern on the front and the back, but then you get a rest with the stockinette under the arms. And there's waist shaping, so I'm doing the decreases now, then I'll knit for a while, and then I'll do the increases for the hip shaping. But I'm enjoying it, and I finished my first skein, so I'm only on, I have this much left of my second skein. I just started it.
Oh, wow.
So I'm getting a lot of mileage out of that skein. It's coming out really good. It looks tiny on the needles, but I tried it on, it fits.
Oh, good.
I had tried on the sample, so I knew it would fit, but, you know, it's nice to have that confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't stretch it out enough to show you because it'll come off the needles. But it's looking really good. It's plenty big.
It does look really good.
I know, I love it. I can't wait to see how it looks done. But the bad news is because I focused so much on this, I barely got anything else worked on. So that's number 1. That's Wrought Iron Cardigan, and the links for the sneak preview and the pre-order, if you want to pre-order the book, will be available. I know 2 people at my knitting night are interested in knitting it because they think it's so pretty, because it is. It's pretty. So there's that. The next thing that I did work on, and I worked on it last night. I did work on it last night after I went home. And I did like half a row last night. I saw Sheila last night, and I did like half a row. And then I did do a couple more rows when I was at home. So I made myself work on it. Okay. So, Lysiantha Shawl by Romy Hill. Designs by Romy. It's $8.50 on Ravelry. I started out doing the motif in the front in a US 3.25 millimeter, and I'm now knitting the body of the shawl in a US 4, what is the thing? 3.5 millimeter. So, and I'm in chart C. I'm not sure if I'm in the first or second repeat of it. I have to count, and I haven't bothered to do that yet. I mean, I know where I am in the charts. I just have to count how many times I'm repeating this one thing. But the pattern's really well written. Even though I hadn't worked on it in several weeks, after I paid attention a little bit, I was able to pick it right up. It's really easy to read this pattern. You're making, you can see centered decreases on these little leaf things that are coming up here. Okay. So I know if I hit that and there are 3 stitches that I'm on the right track, so I don't have to really pay attention that much.
Right, yeah.
So I like patterns that do that because it's like you don't have to have the stitch markers and you kind of know that you're on track. And I'm going to try to work on this more because seriously, I feel like it's lying in its little bag and staring at me with resentful eyes going, why don't you love me anymore?
What did I do wrong?
And I do love it so much. The sweater I don't know, the sweater I'm just really in love with. So I am going to try to work on this more. I'm really excited to try out those blocking wires from Inspinity that I got to try out. So I want to finish this so I can block something. And it's going to be gorgeous. I think it's going to be beautiful when it's done. So a little bit of love that I think I got 5 rows done, which is a significant time of work because I am up to something like 200 stitches.
Oh,
so,
wow.
you know, it takes a while to get through there.
Yeah.
And the other nice thing about this Romy Hill pattern for people who like to knit lace is that it does have a rust row on the back. So you purl it back. And that is nice. A couple of the last ones I've done had no rust rows on the back, so you were working pattern on front and back. And it does require a lot more concentration. This way you focus on one row, and then when you get done, you can just purl back and go on autopilot. And so I can do this while I watch TV, which is really nice. So that's Lysianthus. Still got Celle Bouvat or Not on the needles, and I gave it no love at all. It's still this little hunk of cuff.
And you moan and groan because I gave you a hard time, and now you're not even knitting on it.
I know. I will knit on it. I will knit on it. I will finish it before the end of December, just in the spirit of the knit along. But like I said, I have so many other things on the needles that are more interesting to me. It's kind of like I knit the one, and I'm like, been there, done that. It's like single sock syndrome, only it's like second mitten syndrome or whatever. So I really need to push myself. I want to get these done so I can wear them because I love them.
Not that we need to right now.
No, it's been in the 60s. So that if it got cold, hey, up there, weather guy, if it got cold, it would motivate me to finish them. So those are Celle Bouvat or Not, it's free on Ravelry by Tori Wrote Designs, and I'm using the County Effect Garn, and I'm doing them in US 2.75 millimeter needles. And got no love. And the last thing that got no love, but I like to show it, is the Clown Barf Blanket Flower to Hexagon by Jessie Rayott, which is a free crochet pattern on Ravelry, and I'm doing it in all of my sock leftovers in USD or US3 hook. And I was going to work on this over Thanksgiving, but I was sucked into bringing the sweater because I loved the sweater so much.
She's having an affair with the sweater.
I am. I feel like I'm cheating on my other projects.
You are.
I am, but that sweater it's just a rare time for me when the pattern is it's interesting to me. Like, I'm thinking about it when I'm not knitting it.
Yeah.
I'm excited to find out what's going to happen next. It's going really smoothly. I love the yarn. I love the color of the yarn. And I don't know how many people are like me, but I have a thing about color. Sheila will always say, like, I have a thing about color. Like, I really love color. I spent a lot of time thinking about colors, and I don't know, maybe it's because I took art when I was in college, but I really love color, and this green color appeals to me. And just looking at this color makes me feel happy. I just think it's a beautiful color. And having that along with the feel of the yarn, which I like, and the whole pattern, which is interesting and keeping me interested. It's like I can't put the project down. If only I didn't have to sleep. But yeah, those 4 projects, that's what I have on the needles this week. Nothing else.
Okay. So we go to Rate Your Date. And I gotta find one of my dates. So the reason why my sock didn't get any love is because I got sucked into these. I think I told you last week that my son wanted some mittens gloves for him because it was starting to get cold out.
Yeah. For briefly it got cold, and then it was like...
So these are Urban Necessity by Colleen Michelle Meager. It's made out of Cascade 220. And it's a purple colorway. He picked out the color himself. It's more like an eggplant purple, I'd call it.
It's like a deep purple.
Yeah.
It's Pretty.
I did US 5, 3.75 millimeters. Now, sorry, can't really see it, but it's a dark purple. The mods on this is these are actually fingerless gloves. No, half finger gloves. So they're supposed to come up to here with the fingers. I didn't do the fingers because of his fingers swelling, which, oh my God.
From the arthritis.
They were horrible today. I got a call. But they have the little flip top. Now, mind you, these are meant for him. They're a little snug on me. So, they have the flip top, which actually is really good. It's not going to come off where my first pair. I don't think I put it down far enough down here. So, they sit fairly well, too. Well, they do. They sit better for now.
Oh, so that was good. Tell them your sad little story about those.
Oh, I was going to do it in Heartbreak.
All right. She has a sad story.
I do.
She'll tell you during Heartbreak.
I really like the thumb. These are knit from the cuff up. And then you pick up stitches along here. It's a free pattern. Pick up stitches along the back of your hand and knit basically a little hat.
And then a little hat for your fingers.
Yep. And then it comes over here and it's nice and thick. My husband and I were having a conversation that, yeah, but when they get wet, you know, the whole conversation of wool, when it gets wet. I'm like, but when wool gets wet, it's going to keep his hands warm.
Right. Whereas a fleece mitten, for example, or an acrylic mitten is just going to be cold and wet.
Right. So, my husband, he's like, yeah, how much did that cost? I said, well, the yarn and my time. I said, well, I don't count the time because it's for my kids. I never count the time. About $5, roughly. You know, $5 to $6, depending. I think the yarn I bought from somebody for cheap. So, about $5. He goes, you can buy a pair of mittens in the store or a pair of gloves for $2. I'm like, yeah, I know you can. But it's gloves. It's not made with love. Although, towards the end, this wasn't really made with love. That's another story. So he ended up buying those stretch little gloves.
Yeah,
and I'm like, look at how flimsy these are.
And they pop holes. I know because they sell them at like Walgreens.
Walgreens and Walmart, like $1.99.
My kids love them because they can get like brightly colored ones and they stuff in their pocket.
This isn't the one that he bought, but it's one that we have.
It's kind of a thing.
Look how thin this is.
It
fits thin. Oh, look, see? This has a hole. This is last year's.
Yeah, they get holes really easily. I know this because it's because they're cheaply made.
Well, yeah, they're $1.99. So he bought 2 pairs for like $1.99.
Yeah.
And then the kids put these over them, and they're like, "Oh, this is gone." I'm like, "Fine, you want to wear it like that? Fine." But 9 times out of 10, they're gonna go towards these. And this is made out of wool, so it will felt a little and keep it warmer and thicken it up. And I'm like, whatever, hun.
And wet wool keeps you warm, whereas wet acrylic or
wet anything else won't.
Will make your hands get cold. I know because my son has those fleece mittens that you handed down to us.
Oh yeah, that my sister-in-law made those. The red ones?
They're so cute, and they have a matching hat. But when they get wet, they're done.
Yeah.
There's no coming back from them when they're wet.
And
so
you gotta throw them in the dryer to dry them.
Yeah.
So my other finished object, I love the Urban Necessity pattern. I did a couple mods. I didn't do the fingers. And also the Urban Necessity, in all honesty, all right, I'm going to review this a little bit. I knit this before, and my son has a pair of superwash version with Moda Dia superwash ad. I don't think it's available anymore. But the pattern makes you increase along here so that you have enough stitches for the individual fingers. Mm-hmm. It looks wonky.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. So my personal opinion, and I hope nobody gets angry at me on this, find a nice glove pattern, don't knit all the fingers, and then just add on the cap later. I mean, you can combine 2 patterns.
Yeah.
Or maybe increase a little bit more for the thumb gusset, but only put the thumbs gusset on us. You know what I mean? There's just, there's a better way.
Bless you. Bless you.
Excuse me. There's a better way of doing it. Excuse me again. I'm sorry.
But that's that yarn.
Yeah, it might be. But anyways, it's a really nice, easy pattern. I just didn't do any of the increases for the fingerless part. And I'll probably do a couple more, at least one more fingerless, not necessarily the cap, but maybe the cap for the bus driver.
Oh, yeah.
And now the light's coming in through there. We can't win.
I know.
So my next rate my date is the Bandana Cowl.
It's coming down onto my can you see the beam that's like coming down onto
Where is that coming from?
I don't know.
I have no idea where that's coming from.
Is it just on my computer?
No.
Oh, that's not good. What is going on? Oh, well.
Right. I would wipe off the camera because it could be the camera, but...
I don't think it is. I don't know what's going on.
Sorry.
We're sorry about the quality of this film.
We did try and do our regular recording setup, but for some reason we have some light coming in from where we don't know. Anyways, my next finished project is the Bandana Cowl from Pearl Soho. I know it's got discombobulated. It's free on her website. It's Debbie Bliss Alpaca Silk DK, held double on a US 9 5.0 millimeters. I cast on a larger amount of stitches due to the fact that this is more of a worsted weight where the pattern calls for a bulky weight.
Yeah.
I think I cast on a little too much, but that's okay.
Hey, it still works.
Yeah, I could rob a bank with this thing, but
the bank robber cowl.
Yeah, Bandana Cowl. So this is it's alpaca silk, and I think I showed this last week as on the needles.
Yeah.
But it's really nice and warm, and when you put a coat on, it's gonna just cinch you up really nice. And if you want to, you could do it like this.
Pull it up over your ears.
So
it'd be good for skiing.
Yeah, probably. It's alpaca silk. It's going to be really toasty warm. I used 3 balls, held double.
Oh, it's nice.
So now I just got to weave in the ends. This is a Christmas gift. What I ended up doing is I figured out the numbers where you need to decrease because I increased, more stitches. And then right before the garter ridge, I decreased like 5 more stitches along the thing to kind of cinch it up a little bit. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Maybe another row of increases would have been good. Or actually what I think it would have been better, she has you short row every 2 stitches, like maybe every 3 or 4 would have been better, because it really gives it a deep V, and I don't think you need that deep of a V.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it gives it length, so that's one Christmas present off the list.
Oh, that's good.
And that's all for Rate My Dates.
For Rate My Dates this week, I have nothing. But I do have some whirlwind romance to show.
Oh, okay.
So, which is what I was also doing because I finally oiled my spinning wheel and realized that the clicking noise had been because I'm just going to say as a side note, I have a shocked ladybug. It tells me in the booklet to oil it. But it's not really clear from the diagram. Because
I'm only teasing.
And I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll get around to it. But you're supposed to oil it every time you use it. But it's not clear from the diagram, at least to my simple mind or whatever. I don't know a lot about spinning wheels where I'm supposed to oil it, but it definitely tells me I'm not supposed to oil certain things. But I'm not 100% sure where that is either. And the thing that was giving me trouble is there's these 2 pistons on the back of the machine that the treadle wheels go up and down, and that's what makes the wheel spin. And one of them was clicking. Oh, okay. And it was driving me batty because, it's like kickity, 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 it's just really driving me batty. But it said something about the leather treadle hinges, and I was like, maybe those are the treadle hinges because they only name the parts on the wheel that you use to spin with. They don't really name all the working parts. Mm-hmm. So I finally was able to figure out by Googling that the leather treadle hinges are underneath the treadles on the bottom of the wheel. So I went ahead and I oiled those 2 pistons, and now it's so much better. Jim was like, wow, that thing's really quiet. I'm like, yeah, because I oiled it. So I did a lot of spinning this week, and I forgot to bring it last week, but this is my 300 yards of Spunky Eclectic BFL. I don't know what the colorway was. It probably had a name. It didn't ply very well. It's a very loose ply. I could probably run it through again. It's not my best work. I had trouble with this, but I did a lot of it when my wheel wasn't oiled, and I wonder if that affected it a little bit.
Oh, I'm sure it had something to do with it.
It's a light fingering to a heavy lace weight. I did it, I 2-plied it, and it came out okay. It's not my favorite color. It came, this yarn, or the fleece came, what is the word? I can't talk. The fiber came with my wheel.
Oh, right.
So I didn't really have, my mom was waiting for me, and I didn't really have a lot of time to figure out, so I just grabbed one. The leftovers I 3-plied into a sport weight yarn. It's not very pretty. But because
that's actually nice.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll probably put it in my
blanket.
sock blanket thing. So there's that. But after I did the wheel oiling and I finished that up, I got out the Spinner's Hill yarn that looked like Zoe from Sesame Street, and I spun a light worsted weight. And this came out really nice.
Not as bright as on the camera.
It was really neon orange and pink when I bought it. It toned down a lot from being plied together. I Navajo plied it. And it's pretty well balanced. It hasn't been soaked or thwacked yet. And you can see it's pretty good. And it's the most even one that I've done so far. So I'm definitely improving.
Right.
So that makes me happy. I got about 100 yards here, and I have 2 more bobbins full. And I'm hoping that I'm going to get about 400 yards. I don't know if I'm going to make that much, but I'm hoping because I want to make that backpack for my daughter out of this. She helped me spin some of this too, so that was cute. But that's my whirlwind romance, and I really enjoyed spinning that Spinner's Hill stuff, and I'm already wondering when I can get more. But that's it for me on Whirlwind Romance.
Future dates, more on my Christmas list. I think I'm going to cast on for a Howl Cat, which is, it's a cowl and a hat combination that I was gifted. And when I cast on for that, I'll let you know who gifted me that, because I kind of forget right now.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Who did give that?
Was that for my birthday?
It might have been, yeah.
Come on.
That was a nice gift.
It was a nice gift, and so I'm supposed to be making 2 of those, and my iPad just doesn't want to work. Let's see.
I'll just jump in here and say that for future dates, I have nothing planned. That's so cute.
So I'm planning on using the Dream in Color smushy that I have left over from the hat. It's too big. And whatever I need, I'll probably take from that hat. And you can wear it a couple different ways. That's the other way of wearing it.
It's a cute little pattern.
I think I just magnified the picture a gazillion times. Oh, I don't want to do that because that will give away the pattern.
Yeah.
So I want to do 2 of those for my brother's girlfriend's daughters. Yeah.
Your almost nieces. Sort of nieces.
Yeah. And one isn't going to be in green. I'm not sure what sock yarn I'll use with it, but I have sock yarn. And then the other one I might use in my red, depending on how much I have left over.
Cool. That'd be cool.
So I'll probably bring that with me as well to cast on tonight if I get tired of the sock knitting. You know,
yeah.
You want
need
something
to have
endless.
variety.
Well, you want to go from small to large. But I'm slowly plugging away. And my son requested, we've been talking about Christmas, and my oldest son knows the truth of Santa. We'll say it that way. So I've talked to him, and I said, this year's going to be small. Last year we got a lot of help because of our situation. This year's going to be small. And he was telling us what he wanted for Christmas. And he goes, I want socks for Christmas. And I'm like, you need more socks? He goes, I want handmade socks. I'm like, oh. Because I just bought him everyday socks. And I'm like, you need more? And he goes, I want handmade socks. I'm like, well, that's easy. I'll just grab my socks out of my drawer and throw them in your Christmas stocking. And he's looking at me like, I don't think so. Because right now, him and I share the same socks. He'll steal mine out of my drawer.
Well, I have a pair of candy cane striped socks winging their way to me in the post office right now. My mom finished my holiday socks for me. I'm very excited.
I'm jealous.
Hey, at least you were a sock recipient.
Yes, I'm very happy about that. I was wearing a pair last night, actually.
And at least yours don't need to be darned before you can wear them. Although I'm not knocking it. I'm grateful for it. I'm not knocking it.
We've been asked also we should try and
do a darning.
do a little darning segment.
Yeah,
maybe in the next week or two, because I certainly have some socks that need some darning besides yours.
I have a bag of socks that need darning. I love darning too. So we should totally do that.
I don't know if I love it.
Oh, I like it. I find it relaxing.
To me, you're taking away from knitting time.
That's true.
I will show you my pair that's beyond repair and probably make a pair of fingerless or wrist warmers, as they call them.
Wristers.
And I have a couple of pair that need a little help before they get to that point where it's beyond repair. That's
another thing that we would talk about, but you should, when I do my washing of the socks, I do them all at once.
Yeah.
I take a look, because if there are any thinning spots, you can duplicate stitch over those.
Get them done before
reinforce them before they give out, and it saves a lot of time darning. Just a tip from an avid darner.
That's on my future dates.
Yeah. And like I said, I got nothing. Crushes and heartbreaks. I'm going to do mine first because mine is short. I mentioned the Spinner's Hill. They do like a wool blend, and you buy it by the ounce. Excuse me. And my friend Diane in Oz, hi Diane, told me that spinning with this was like amazing. And I was like, yeah, whatever. It really was. So I don't know what they're doing over at Spinner's Hill, but like it's like this thing practically spun itself, and it's the best yarn that I've made so far, probably because it was so well processed. So I'm kind of disappointed. I only bought 16 ounces of their stuff, and I've been told they will be at New Hampshire Sheep and Wool, so I'm already planning.
What's that, Mother's Day?
Right around Mother's Day in May.
Mother's Day,
so I'm already planning on what I'm going to buy when I'm up there.
And that is 6 months away.
I know. I don't know if you can buy online. I'm going to have to look. I have more in my stash. I have this French merino that I bought at Rhinebeck, and I have some other stuff, but that stuff was awesome. I'm going to buy a sweater's worth of it the next time I go there. But anyway, that's my crush.
So my heartbreak is these mitts, and we've been forewarned. So the good thing about this is basically you're knitting 2 pairs of fingerless gloves. And what I did is the first one, I knit both fingerless first. Finished the thumbs. Then I went to pick up the little cap. So I picked up the cap here. I counted the stitches up from the thumb exactly, 1, 2, 3, whatever. So I'm like, all right, now that I know how many are there, let me take a yarn and needle and weave through this one so that it will be easy. So I did that. So I knit the cap, and I'm like, all right, let's go and knit this. I knit this cap, not realizing I basically made 2 left mitts.
She did a loony hiker, in other words.
Well, loony hiker, if you want to know, we're with the best of them, because I was reading Yarn Harlot's blog posts, and yesterday or the day before, whenever she most recently posted, she linked to an older post.
Oh, those mittens that she did.
Well, she linked to an older post from 2004. I don't know what it was about. I don't remember. So I just started scanning all her posts, and I came up across her mittens from the border. No, what was it? Borders, Mittens Without Borders. When she first started the Knitters Without Borders or the Doctors Without Borders program. And back in 2004, and she had done a pair of Latvian mittens, and she did 2 right mittens. So, Loony Hiker, we're in the best.
We're in the best
we're
of company.
with the best of company.
But I said to Sheila, I just told that story about Loony Hiker last week. How did this happen to you?
The good thing about this, though, is all I had to do was rip out a cap.
Yeah, she didn't have to actually rip out
and then put it back. I can still see where the lines were from where I picked it up, but I had to, at one point, because I had weaved in all the ends, I was so excited to have this finished for my son. I weaved in all the ends, and I had to pluck out my Kitchener stitch, and then I ripped out and rolled it up until the end where I wove in the end here. You can't, right here. And I'm like, I can't find that end, so I'm taking the scissors, carefully clipping so that I didn't clip the actual mitten. Because that would have
been disastrous.
Yeah, so but that was my heartbreak. I know. I'm like, I can't believe I did that. And I realized I did it at work next to my coworker, and she's like, well, knit 2 more and give me a pair. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't gonna happen. Maybe in the January I'll knit you a pair, but it ain't happening now. But I kept looking at my yarn. I'm like, do I have enough to make a third mitten? Do I have enough? I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's only a cap.
I know.
Let's rip out the cap. It's not
that much work.
It would have been more to do, but that's my heartbreak on these mittens.
Oh, I cracked up, though.
I couldn't believe it. I was just like, are you kidding me? I'm like, she goes, what's the big deal? So I put them on. This thing's flipping here. And I'm like, see? She's like, oh. I'm like, that doesn't work well. If you want the cap out of the way. So. Yeah, that's my heartbreak. I'm trying to think if I have any crushes. I'm sure I do. I didn't write my show notes very well.
I didn't have any heartbreaks this week, I don't think. I mean, this sweater incident was kind of it, but you know what? I expected it because I never read ahead in the pattern. I never learn. I just never learn. Like, I know that when you do anything that has a V-neck, there is going to be armhole shaping and neckline shaping at the same time. I know this. I have knit so many. My first sweater that I ever knit was a V-neck, and yet I do this all the time. I just don't read ahead.
Well, we all do that because we think we know what the pattern's going to be.
Except that I know that the pattern is going to be that way, but I just ignore that and I keep knitting. I don't know. It's like certain things I'm never going to learn.
No, we never do.
And when I realized it, I was like, oh man, but I was like, oh well.
I do have another heartbreak.
Oh.
See this? Thanksgiving was last weekend. I have this still. The reason why is because, it's too big. So my brother's like, I really like that other hat. Can't you just knit that other hat in a different color? So this will be picked out and knit into it, Claudia. Aww. And it's not going to be any good to anyone unless they have a huge head. Huge.
It was a little big.
So if you're going to do it's a nice hat pattern. If you're going to do the Jacques Cousteau in worsted weight, I would suggest going down even a few more stitches or maybe another needle size. I don't remember what I did this in, but
it is a little
I think it's a size 7, maybe a size 6 or 5, but then, then you're getting to the point, I don't know. I'd go down needle size. I would go down stitch size before I'd go down needle size, I think. So this will become another Claudia hat. I'm really hoping that one will fit. The problem is I fussed with that Claudia hat from dyeing it with the coffee color that I'm sure I shrank it.
Well, you can always felt that a little bit.
Yeah, but he wants a Claudia hat, so that's what I'm going to make him. So yeah, that will be at some point too, because this was supposed to be for a birthday gift. Well, now it's going to be / birthday Christmas because I basically knit him 2 hats. And if he doesn't want to take one, then too bad.
Too bad. So sad.
So that was another crush. Baubles and bling.
I got nothing this week.
I got something. I got something really good. Well, I got my interweave knits. I'm not going to review it because a few people have already done that.
Yeah, I don't know. We're
not much on the review. But I will say one thing, and I did want to mention this, and I thought, I did. I air tagged it. There's a great article on cables, and I know another podcast, the Knit Girls, had already discussed it, but I'm going to discuss the part where it helps you fix a cable, or better yet, we were talking when I was doing cables on how to count.
Yeah.
This shows a really good picture of the cable design. It shows where the cable stitches, and then it shows you each stitch afterwards.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
So I'm like, awesome. And then it also has
come in handy.
Yeah, it also has a section on. It shows you the cables here, and it breaks it down right here. But what this is actually talking about, it says uninventing the cable. Basically, if you see a cable design that you like, it tells you how, step by step, basically, to recreate it in chart.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, it is. It's really nice. It tells you how to break down a cable pattern into a chart form. So, there were a couple patterns in here that I liked. I don't know. Somebody was talking, I think it was the Knit Girls were talking that, interweave has kind of been going away from things, and I have to agree. It's like, I don't know if I really want to renew my prescription.
Subscription.
Thank you.
She's so focused on the medical
Yeah,
things.
well.
Your prescription.
Yeah, prescription.
I prescribe and weave knits.
But, so yeah, it's all right. I like the pretty pictures. I like the articles. The cable article was really good, and it's going to benefit me a lot since I have a hard time with cables and counting. So that was one of my baubles and bling. And do you have something to talk about? Because I really need to get a tissue.
I'm
sorry.
No, I don't have any baubles and bling. I did find out, for those of you who live in the New England area, that apparently there is an American Girl doll consignment store in Derry, New Hampshire, where you can get like consignment. So it's discounted prices. Like if you have a little girl,
she outgrew it all, and
you can take it there. And also, if you're trying to find something that's no longer made, they might have it there. They will notify you if it comes in.
Isn't Derry, New Hampshire, where Yarn and Fiber is?
Yes, and
I see a road
trip. Yarn and Fiber Company.
I see a road trip coming up.
Yes, I need to go up there because my daughter is a huge fan.
Let me know when you do. Although I have sworn off yarn for at least the rest of the year, which is only a month. But I tell you, if I get any extra money, it's going right to the sock club.
I know.
That's my goal, is to get onto the Blue Moon Fiber Sock Club. But someday.
Sounds like a good goal.
So that's kind of interesting with because that stuff is expensive.
It is. Speaking as a woman whose child has 3 American Girl dolls and almost all of the pets, it's expensive.
Yeah.
You can get some good deals on the pets at Costco sometimes, or BJ's.
Really?
They have them there. I've picked them up there before, where they're not quite as expensive. One thing I will never do is go to the American Girl doll store again.
Yeah, we have one here in Massachusetts in Natick. I've gone there, but I've gone there on a anywhere close to holiday type of thing where,
I made the mistake of going there during Christmas.
Last year, yeah. I obviously don't have girls, and, as much as my little guy likes certain Barbie doll hair stuff, he's not into that.
He's not into America.
So I don't have to worry, but we went in, because I was curious. You hear so much about it, and I was just curious, and we looked at him, and I'm like, Kim and I, our mouths dropped. We're like, thank you. Thank you that we have no girls.
No, my mom and I went there last Christmas, and I swore I would never go there again, and I won't.
So my baubles and bling is a couple of little things. I got my swap package from my Dangercraft Swap Monster Swap thingy. It was a mini swap or ornament swap. Well, I got spoiled. And it was from Erin, who's Starkey81, and she's from England. And my kids just love it when I get packages from across the country, across the seas.
Oh, over the sea.
Yeah, over the seas, or I got a package from Germany once, and they just love that because to them it's so far away, which it is far away, but they don't realize how the postal service brings everything a little closer.
Yeah.
So this is Rebecca Danger's pattern, Holly, Ivy, and Steve, and I don't know who's who, but I got this.
Show his little butt. Little butt.
He's got a green little butt.
I love that.
He's got a nice green little scarf. I mean, she did a fantastic job. And I guess I asked her what yarn this was made out of because I liked it a lot. It's Panda Cotton. And this, I think this is Steve. I'm not sure. But this is Steve. He's all covered up in his little scarf, but he's got a little belly button. I love the scarf. These will be out all year round. I hang all my monsters up by my yarn stash so I can see them anytime I get it. I mean, the fringe and the scarf, everything is just so cute. Yeah, well, that would be nice in itself, just these two. No. She went overboard.
These are so cute.
And I know there's a pattern in Ravelry for these, and I'll try and link them.
I love these so much, it's ridiculous.
Well, we were asked what our favorite things to collect are, and I like to collect snowmen. And I have a few snowmen on my tree. So she made 3 snowmen and a Santa.
Cute! The Santa's little legs just crack me up.
There they are. So these are my things from Erin, Starkey81. She did a fantastic job. I hope she's not disappointed with mine.
Aww.
And then I got some yarn, and she gave me a pattern for some fingerless mitts, and I've misplaced the pattern, but this yarn will probably make a nice pair of fingerless mitts. It's an independent dyer from her area, Perrin Yarns, hand-dyed yarn from Cornwall.
It's pretty.
It's pretty colors.
I like those colors.
Yeah, those are my colors. They're maroon and red and brick red and all shades of red. Very pretty. So I want to say thank you, Erin. You did a fantastic job. I think it was her first swap, which would explain a few things. Oh, I missed something.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a hat.
It's so cute.
I might do a little stitch on the hat so that it doesn't get lost. So I opened this. I got this on Friday. All the kids were out because it was absolutely gorgeous on Friday.
Yes,
it was like spring, summer. So I got it on Friday, and we were at my neighbor's house, and I asked her if she minded if I opened it, and she said no, she didn't. We got some chocolate, by the way, that, it didn't last long. It was yummy. Cadbury makes these stars, and I don't know if we can get them here, but I'm going to look for them. If you buy them, percentage of the proceeds of Cadbury, it's wishing stars, goes to Make-A-Wish.
Well, I will tell you right now, the place to check is Cardulo's in Cambridge.
Okay,
because they have a lot of Cadbury
stuff. But oh my God, it was delicious. I'm like, Zachary wanted that because of his Make-A-Wish or whatever, so he wanted that one. I'm like, okay. He ate half of it and left the rest on the table. Mine. I'm like, you shouldn't leave it. Way to go. I'm like, you shouldn't leave it on the table. Munchkin ate it.
Sorry.
So I opened these up, and the kids were looking at it, and there was this kid in the neighborhood. He goes, I really like that one. You know those kids, oh, I really like that one.
Oh,
I really like that one. But he was saying it for the same one.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know how kids sometimes will say, Mama, I really like that piece of candy. I really like that piece of candy. Yeah. Oh, well, then you can have it. Yeah. That wasn't going there. You know, I'm really hungry. I'm like, yeah, you can have my pizza or whatever. Yeah, you weren't getting my
not monsters. My monsters.
That's the one thing I don't give up. My kids would have killed me too.
Well, they're so cute.
They really are.
Adorable. I love those snowmen though. I might have to make one of those.
Yeah, I mean it looks simple enough. I don't know what she used, and maybe panda cotton on that as well, but they are adorable.
Cute. I love them. Good
job. She knows how to embroider too, because I wouldn't have gotten mine. Oh, all right. I see. Never mind. Yeah. Awesome package. I really enjoyed it a great deal. Thank you very much. And that's all I got for Baubles and Bling.
Gossip and innuendo. The only thing I have to say for that is I heard from the rest of the Prizapalooza winners. And their packages will be going out this week. And I've heard back from some people that got theirs from the last mailing.
Oh, good.
So that's good.
Good.
And if you're out there, I gave you your confirmation number when I PM'd you, so you can figure it out. If it doesn't show up, check that number and see where it is.
And we have one that we have to ship to
Italy. Yes, I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow or Thursday. I'm getting my hair done tomorrow.
Oh, so all right.
I don't know if I'm gonna have time to do the postie, but I'll probably do it on Thursday. But what I do is after I send them out, I PM you the confirmation number so you can track it if you want to.
Yeah.
So.
The only thing for gossip is, this past weekend was Thanksgiving.
If you're in the U.S.
If you're in the U.S., yep. And so it was Black Friday, which I didn't partake in any bit.
Either.
I didn't leave my yard at all. We had leftovers for dinner on Friday. I didn't leave. I don't even think I got out of my pajamas, to tell you the honest truth, which is basically sweatpants anyways. But trying to think.
It was a happy holiday for us.
It was. We just relaxed and enjoyed and had a good time with family. And my dad is home from China. Hi, Dad. And he was telling me how, unfortunately China won't let him watch.
We're banned in China, basically.
Yeah. Won't let him watch. But I said, well, as soon as you enter the U.S., it's going to start downloading because he has it subscribed. So it's going to download it. I'm like, you can watch it. But his girlfriend over there has been knitting up like a storm, he said, a fiend. I'm like, oh, good.
Yeah. My husband was going to watch our blog when he was in China this summer, and he's like, you're banned in China.
Yeah.
Pretty much all
U.S. blogs
are banned. Almost anything from Blogger or WordPress.
He can get his favorite TV show, which I can't remember The Mentalist, I think it is. He can get that, but he can't get anything else, so... other than that, I'm trying to think what else. No, I think that's it. It's kind of a short episode. It is and it's not, but it's a long episode on nothing.
It's the show about nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. But thanks. Oh, if you're a new viewer, thanks for coming and joining us.
Yes.
If you're a continuing viewer, thanks for
coming
back each week. We appreciate it.
We do.
If you want to see the show notes, they'll be up at knit1heart2.blogspot.com, and I did them the very next day last time.
That's so awesome. And if you want to join us on Sunday night at 8 o'clock, we do a virtual knit night. There's a link in the virtual knit night thread. It's at the very top of the page. No matter what page you come in on, it's at the top of that page. You can join us. We had 4 people this Sunday night. It was super fun.
Yeah, I apologize. My schedule, because there's only 2 of us who are working overnight, is so random. I don't typically work Sundays because Zachary typically has his appointments on Monday mornings. But she's been putting me on Sundays. He hasn't had any appointments, which is good. He will soon. I got to find out that date. But I go to bed at 7:30 or 8 on Sundays so that I can work. So yeah, I apologize on that. If you want to join our group, it's on Ravelry, and I post a link in the bottom of our show notes, but I think there's a link over there as well.
There's a Ravelry button, yeah. We changed the look of our blog.
Yes, more towards what you've been seeing our buttons.
Yes, we're trying to make everything match.
Matchy.
I'm still working on it. There are a few things I might tweak, but it was a lot of fun to do.
And let's see.
I think that's it.
Leave a star rating. Leave a star rating or a comment, and we've gotten a couple of new star ratings. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do.
We're on Plurk as Knit1Heart2. It's mostly me, but we do have a joint account, so sometimes Wendy will post.
Pop in there.
On Twitter as Knit1Heart2. I don't tweet very much. You're on Twitter as Knit1Wendy.
And everything that she plurks is tweeted on my account.
So I'm tweeting on her.
Yeah, I never tweet, so whatever. It's my tweet.
You haven't even been pinning all that much, have you?
No, because I've been really busy with
other things.
This.
Yeah. So we're on Pinterest as Knit1Heart2
and
Knit1Wendy. And I think that's it. If you want to reach us by email, knit1heart2@gmail.com.
We will soon have a mailing address. I am working on it.
I check the Gmail account, if not every day, every other day. So I think that's about it.
That's about it.
So have a good week and knit with heart.
Knit with heart. Bye, guys. Ladies.